Where Pretty Chick at? Pretty Chick, you in this chat? Where you at? Pretty Chick, where you at? Hey, Lady L. Did everybody leave? You still here? Hey, Serena. I was looking for Pretty Chick. Where's she at? Where's she at? Her troublemaking self. Where is Pretty Chick at right now? I need her. I'm summoning her. Where is she at? Where is she at? They don't know I'm live. Shay, where's Pretty Chick at? There she go. There she go. Pretty Chick, hold on. Let me let you see my face. Pretty Chick, let me tell you something. I was laughing too when I posted that title. I I was laughing as well when I posted that title. I was like, I was like, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. But let me tell you, let me explain myself. Not that I'm doing this, no, but after you and I, look at Mr. Duncan. After, well, I was on the phone and everything, got a phone call and everything, right? Got off the phone and I looked at my phone, right? And lo and behold, lo, stop it, y'all, stop. Lo and behold, Rose popped up on my channel with her shorts, right? So let me tell you what I saw. Let me show you what I saw. Okay, this is for educational purpose. Okay, we're gonna do the Freedom of Information Act here. Hold on, let me just put this post up here for a second, and I'm gonna explain to you. Copyright Act. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purpose of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And we're not bashing anything, not bashing anyone. We're just gonna discuss this whole OnlyFans thing. It has my antennas just like going up. And let me tell you why my antennas went up. Okay, I'm gonna show you why. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm going to show you why, and then we're just going to have a discussion as people, as adult individuals. We're going to have a discussion because I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Is there something there? Oh, they made the video unavailable. They made the video unavailable. Dang. The video's unavailable, y'all. Daggone it. I should have downloaded the freaking video. They made it unavailable. Dang, why did they make it unavailable? Did somebody complain about it? Look, they made it unavailable. I should have shared this earlier with you guys. Look at this. They made it unavailable. Look. Look. They made it unavailable. Dang. Daggone it. They made it unavailable. They must have took it out. Somebody must have complained and they took it down. What do y'all think? Do you think she deleted it herself? What do y'all think? I can't even tell y'all what they made it unavailable. They made it unavailable. Oh my God. It was her talking about that y'all gonna make this bitch rich on Instagram. I mean on OnlyFans. And dang. Man, I was gonna show y'all something. She showed some numbers and then she said something. Yeah, I think they might have said because she said something about her kids gonna already know that she FUCK. So I'm wondering if she promoting FUCKing on her OnlyFans. I think somebody did report it because it was inappropriate. The comment she made was inappropriate. Hey Rosie, I think I was gonna show y'all. I think somebody did. It says video unavailable. If it was removed by her, it would have says removed by uploader. It's unavailable. But let's see if she put it someplace else. Maybe she deleted it. Maybe she deleted it when she got people started commenting on it. Maybe that's what she did. Maybe she deleted it. My little stupid thing's not working here. Hold on a second. My headphone is not working. I'm not my headphone. My mouse not working. I can't move stuff. I can't move anything, so I gotta wait to charge up a little bit. So while we talk, see, they messed up my whole little live I was about to talk about with you guys. I was gonna do a whole session of how to do an OnlyFans. I mean, I got the other video I was gonna do to show y'all. But anybody interested in doing an OnlyFans? And she was showing how much money she made and all that. Dang on it. She's at the top 1% now. And she only has she says she has over 700 subscribers to her OnlyFans. And she's at 9,000 now. Almost 9,000. Yeah, last night she was like 7,000 and something. Now she's at 9,000. Dang, they took it down. Oh. Let me show you let me show you another person. What do y'all think about this person doing OnlyFans? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. What do you think about this person? Hold on. I'm gonna stop this one for a second. Let me show y'all. What do y'all think about this person doing an OnlyFans? Hold on. What do you think about this person doing an OnlyFans? Hold on a second. You ready? Let me take this comment off my face. Hold on. You guys ready? All right. What do you think about this person doing an OnlyFans?
And they got some milk.
Yeah. Which I think they have an audience for all kinds. They have an audience for all kinds. No, stop. That's not nice, pretty chick. That's not nice. But I'm just saying they have an audience for all kind. Ronnie said what's going on. Ronnie said that was going on. I'm just saying they have an audience for all type of people. I can't judge it. A little something for everyone out there. That's what I was saying. They have an audience for everyone. I just ask you guys about what do you think. So okay, you got two extremes, right? And then you have this person. Hold on. This person here is teaching you how to have a OnlyFans channel. Hold on, let me show y'all. Hold on. Hold on, let me find. Where'd she go? There's one that's teaching the class on. She teaches you how to have an OnlyFans channel. Hold on. She teaches this one here. She teaches you how to have an OnlyFans channel right here. Hold on a second. And she gives you some tips on how about OnlyFans. Okay, this is this young lady here.
You can be just as successful, if not more successful on the platform. We go over everything from start to finish if you are just getting started or if you already are doing OnlyFans and you need that boost. So I would highly recommend it if you need some support and if you really need that one-on-one coaching. It'll all be listed down below and you can email me at alana@alanacolt.com. So let's jump into today's video. Today's video is all about how you can make OnlyFans a full-time job without even having any social media following or any followers in general to start.
Did y'all hear this? She's teaching you guys how to do the tips on becoming an OnlyFans full-time content creator and how to go about getting your numbers up and things like that.
I do want to give a disclaimer. If you are looking to make OnlyFans a full-time job, then you have to put in full-time hours in the beginning. In the beginning, it is going to be a full-time job.
Y'all hear
so if
that?
you have a full-time job, you're going to be having 2 full-time jobs if you really want to make this your full-time job. And then you can slowly...
You hear this, right, y'all? Anybody wants to make OnlyFans a full-time job, here's the tips on how to do it, what to do.
Wing off your actual job. But to start out, you have to put in all your effort, you have to put in all your time, at least to get the ball rolling. So I just wanted to give you that disclaimer. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is how you're going to actually scale your business and make it something full-time. So let's dive into how I started and how it actually became my full-time job. I got started in December 2019, and at the time I was only posting bikini pictures. By, I wanna say April of 2020, I was already full-time doing OnlyFans. 4 months, I was doing OnlyFans full-time. So here's how I did that. When I first started, like I said, I was only doing bikini pictures. I was showing my face and I already had my YouTube channel. So those are the things I had. I didn't really share it on YouTube much. I did like 1 video. I don't have a huge following on social media, and I especially didn't at that time. My following has definitely grown since then, and so has my TikTok. So now it's a different story. But when I first started, I did not have the following that I had now. So I was starting.
So, anybody in this chat thinking about starting an OnlyFans? I know somebody mentioned it last night because they saw the numbers that Rose was making, and they were like, "Oh, I'm in the wrong business." I think it was Kim. Kim said that yesterday. OnlyFans not normally announced. If you know, you just know. Okay. So, talk guys. Are you trying to tell us something that you're not telling us? Are you trying to tell us something that you're not telling us? Talk glass. Speak to me. Are you trying to tell us something that you're not telling us? You heard what she said. OnlyFans is not normally announced. If you know, you just know. Okay. You see, she said, if you know, you just know. So, tall glasses. Here's the question again. Tall glass, are you telling us something that you're not telling us? You say if you know, right? You don't announce it. So, can we get a little insider's view of what it's like from you? Oh, nobody brags. They just have an OnlyFans. Those folks just know. Y'all, she's still pleading the fifth with us. Tall glass is pleading the fifth on us over here. She's pleading the fifth. She said, "I work a full-time job. That's not my thing." Wait, hey, but this lady said you could have 2 full-time jobs. 2 full-time jobs, y'all. She said you could have 2 full-time jobs. You don't think you? I want to know who. How can we find out who has OnlyFans? You got to be in the know. Oh, okay. Look what you say. You got to be in the know. Where's SSS? Where's she at? Is she in here? SSS in here. Rosie. I know Rosie would do one. Rosie, you ready to do your OnlyFans? Rosie, you ready to do your OnlyFans? Are you raising your hand that you want to do OnlyFans to success? Or are you just telling me you're still here? Cam, you want to do OnlyFans? Rosie said, yep. Let's see, what does it entail to have an OnlyFans? Let's see, what are some of the requirements for OnlyFans? Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, hold on. He's going to teach us. This guy's going to teach us. Hold on. Mr. Sexy's going to teach us how to have one. Hold on. Here you go. Y'all ready? He's going to teach us how to do it. Hold on.
So you want to know how to start OnlyFans in 2024 so you can make a lot of money online, have all your time back. This is the video you need to watch. Now, setting up OnlyFans is a nice, simple process, but not a lot of people understand the process. I mean, that's probably why you're here, just to get a breakdown of how everything should flow so you can start making a lot of money online. So the first thing you need to do if you haven't already got an account is, of course, set it up and get it verified.
Okay. All right, y'all. We got to get an account and get it verified. You ready? Rosie, you ready? Rosie, are you ready? The way this economy is going, I'm thinking about, come on, Shay, let's do this, y'all. Let's all do this together, y'all. We won't struggle no more. Let's do this, y'all. Guys, y'all ready? We could do this together. Let's do a team effort on this. We got to come up with a theme. All right, let's go.
All you have to do is just go on the OnlyFans website, go to become a creator, and verify. So you need to upload your ID, that type of thing. It normally takes about 1-2 days to verify. If it does get rejected, it's not a problem at all. Just go to your email, see why they rejected it, fix what you did, and then redo it. Then you'll be verified. Nice and simple.
With me. Okay, Alicia said, let's do it. Let's do this now. Come on, we're learning how to do this. We're going to learn. So we're going to get an account. We got to get our account verified. It's going to take 1 or 2 days for this verification process, right? It's going to take a couple of days for the verification process. All right, let's learn some more, okay? Are y'all taking notes? Or you just going to come back to this channel? All right, let's go. Ready?
So as soon as you get verified, you need to figure out what your page is going to be about.
Okay, yeah. What's our page going to be about? What is our page going to be about? I said I was going to show feet. So what do y'all think? Do you think me showing my feet is okay? Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter if your feet ugly or cute. You know, you just got to do stuff with your feet. You know, like weird stuff with your feet. You know, it's always some weird, different individual. All right, let's go.
So the first thing is when people come onto your page to subscribe, what they're going to see, obviously, is your profile picture, the cover photo, the bio, and then how much it costs to subscribe. So let's start off with the profile and cover picture. These need to be some of your best photos there are.
We need to see some examples of OnlyFans photos. Let's go see example. Let's see. Oh, Reddit is going to tell us a little bit. Oh, let's go back out over. Hold on. Oh, we don't have an account. I can't even go in it. Look, they won't. Be careful. You might see something you don't want to see. No. I'm not. Hold on. I'm not. I can't go in. I don't have an account. See, I don't have an account. Can't go in. Look at that. Who's hungry? Spend a day in GAO caring for street animals. Oh, she's caring for street animals. That's not weird. Okay. This one's in the studio. She's singing. I'm afraid to show this one because you see the chest right here, right? Let me put my banner up so just in case it's something that's weird. Hold on. Let me put the banner up, y'all. Put the banner up. Hold on, Alicia. Hold on. We're gonna put this here. We gotta put this there. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me check it out first before I pass it to y'all. No, it's not bad. Okay. It's not bad. Okay. Okay, it's not bad at all. All right. Let me take my picture off so we can see. All right. Let me take this off. All right, it's not bad. Okay. It said a day in life. So he says first time older turns into first rate. Okay, he's a bodybuilder, I guess. They battled their way to a top in a climbing showdown. Okay, that's boring. Okay. So who gets higher? All right. She goes deep diving. She goes inside the caves. Okay, she's a cave person. Okay, this one here, she's a she has plants. Okay. She says she spends the day in the shelter, animal shelter. Yeah, look at the kind of stuff they're doing. They're not doing just bad stuff. Y'all made it seem like they only do bad stuff. You know, they don't just do bad stuff. They don't do bad stuff on. They got all kinds of things. Look at her. She spent time in the animal shelter. Then now she says she talked about a Lamborghini. I'm not playing none of these people's stuff because I don't know what they have on there. Look at this. It's not bad. Coffee culture. This is about coffee. Look at it. Come on now. This is not bad at all. Oh, this is she's on a private island. Okay. Utopia saga. They're getting risky now, y'all. Track training. This one here is on motorcycle. She's feeding kangaroos. Okay. Okay, let me put this up just in case these people do something that's really weird. Yeah, they have different type of things, success. They do other things. Hold on, let me put my thing up just in case. Let me go take a view of all of these first, and then I'll come back to you guys. Hold on. Okay, they got some. Okay, okay. It says subscribe for free. They got 5.97 million. Oh, they got some raunchy ones that are coming up now. They got raunchy stuff. They got one of doing workout. Hold on a second.
Hey guys, it's Nyx. Welcome back to Nyx at Night. If you've been following along my videos, you know that I love traveling and I love fashion. So I wanted to give you guys a little taste of both.
Okay. She looking weird. She's not too presentable on the video here, so I'm not showing. I'm glad I covered some of this stuff. Is there an update on the OF model accused of strangling her? Oh, I don't know, ma'am. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Can you give us some details about that? She said, is there any update? Is there an update on the OnlyFans model accused of strangling her client? And the defense is that he requested it and signed a contract. What's the name of the case? I never heard about that. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if we can look it up. Okay. That's the boyfriend one. I don't see the one where. Okay, hold on. There it is. I think here it is. Here, I found it. Hold on. Let's take this off. I found it. Success. I found it. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Let's bring it up. And here we go. We're gonna share it. This is it right here.
Asking her to buy boots and glue them on his feet with Gorilla Glue. He was asking her to buy dildos and glue them in his mouth. And he also asked her to pour pools of Gorilla Glue into his eyes to glue them shut.
What?
So that she was the last girl that he would ever see.
Then he died after the fatal fetish encounter.
Essentially, there was a lack of oxygen to the brain because of the plastic wrapping around the head, leading to fatal injury.
Now the OnlyFans model is charged with his murder. Was it a horrible accident or a cold, calculated killing?
I could just hear him say, can we stop? I'll pay you a certain amount more money to stop. And that's when I realized that it wasn't a friend, it was a prostitute.
Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. We brought you this story just a few months back. A mom of three who doubles as a spicy content creator or OnlyFans model is accused of placing a plastic bag over her client's head in what was supposed to be a kinky fetish encounter. But police say even when he wasn't moving, the model kept on recording.
Can you describe for us what we see here?
Same thing. Michaela's sitting there topless, masturbating with a vibrator, lip syncing to the music. The pans down to Mr. Dale laying at her feet, motionless, still wrapped up the same exact way. Looked like she might have been resting her foot on him.
You mentioned in the previous clip how there was one moment where Mr. Dale's body kind of moves or shifts. Any movement with Mr. Dale in this clip?
No.
In April of 2023, more than 2 years ago, 56-year-old Michael Dale was rushed to the hospital. He was found in a really unusual and kind of scary state. Investigators say he had duct tape over his mouth, a plastic bag over his head. His head was also wrapped in saran wrap and covered in duct tape.
What?
An unusual scene, right? So it might have come as a surprise to investigators that he reportedly made the request and paid
What?
a 29-year-old OnlyFans model $11,000 to do that to him.
What?
Initially, it was reported that Michael Dale spotted Michaela Rylarsdom on a website for hiring spicy dancers and escorts. And it was reportedly Michaela's first time ever engaging in this type of fetish behavior with a client. So police say Michael and Michaela met up on April 17th. But even before that, they were texting one another for weeks. And nothing wrong with engaging in what you want to engage in with two consenting adults, right? But then a 911 call came in on the evening of April 17th. When officers responded to Michael's home, they say he was lying on his back and Michaela was giving him CPR.
He didn't have a shirt on. His arms were above his head, down like this. It appeared to be like some sort of tape and rope around his wrists. He was wearing red pants and had both of his legs bound together by a clear plastic wrap.
What?
And he was also wearing some black boots.
Could you walk us through sort of your mindset as you're rendering CPR on male laying down?
Obviously, I'm trying to get effective CPR, but my thought process is wanting to get that person out of the room.
This must be the probable cause hearing
Kind
because
of frantic.
she's not dressed
About
up.
the defendant.
Yes, sir.
And why is it important in your mind to get her out of the room?
For me, it's more of just an officer safety standpoint. I'm not sure what the true nature of what I'm walking into is, so I prefer for me to just be there alone.
So towards the end of the video, we see other personnel arrive. Were those paramedics?
Yes, sir.
Did they take over with the rendering of CPR?
They did.
After that, did you stick around on scene?
Yes, sir.
And were you tasked with doing anything else on scene?
Yes. Ultimately, what I did was remain in the room and assist with evidence collection.
Can you tell us about what sort of evidence you collected there from the bedroom?
Sure. We had like some, I believe there were like bundles of what appeared to be used tape, yellow rope. There was about 7 boxes of clear plastic wrap, rolls of clear plastic wrap. I collected 3 bottles of Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue.
I believe we also impounded the black boots and a clear medium-sized bag with red lipstick on it.
You mentioned black boots.
Yes, sir.
What black boots?
My partner who assisted at the hospital collected the black boots that were on Mr. Dale's feet.
Can you describe the boots that were on Mr. Dale's feet?
Yeah, they were like these thick leather, kind of shiny black boots.
Do you remember seeing those boots on him when you walked into the room that night?
Yes, sir.
Gorilla Glue, plastic wrap, duct tape really does sound like a horror scene. But according to Michaela's attorneys, they argue she tried to help the victim.
She was wearing lingerie, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't see any weapon on her, correct?
No, sir.
It was more just kind of to control the situation. It's easier if she's not there. You don't have to deal with her. You don't have to have your attention divided, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And so you asked her to step outside.
I did.
She stepped outside.
She ultimately, yes, sir.
And she stayed outside until other units arrived, correct?
That's correct, sir.
She didn't flee.
No, sir.
She didn't try and leave, correct?
No, sir.
And your understanding that she did speak with other officers about what happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
So like I mentioned, this encounter happened back in April of 2023. However, Michaela wasn't arrested and charged until this year in 2025. The charge came after the medical examiner ruled Michael's death as a homicide.
It's fair to say that if Mr. Dale had not consumed any alcohol from the time that he went in, that he became unresponsive to the time that he went to the hospital, that his alcohol level may have been higher at the time that the incident happened.
Sure,
It might have been higher than a 0.33.
absolutely.
And typically for most people, 0.40 is considered to be a near fatal or fatal level of alcohol, correct?
Yes, that's a correct guideline.
Now, alcohol is a depressant, correct?
Yes,
And that's what suppresses the fact that you're breathing, correct? Is the depressant acts.
yes,
He also had trazodone in his system, correct?
yes,
He had, was it 0.13 nanograms of trazodone?
I think it was 0.17 milligrams per liter.
0.17 milligrams per liter. Now, that's a therapeutic level, correct?
I think it's actually subtherapeutic, but yeah, within that range.
But it's a depressant as well, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
And that can have a reaction with alcohol, enhancing alcohol's effects, correct?
Yes,
So the two together could cause a person's respiratory to be suppressed, correct?
it could have a synergistic effect, yes.
Now, I just got to say here that you can really see the arguments for both sides. The prosecution claims that this was a murder. However, the defense argues this was a terrible accident. Even though this isn't a trial, a jury will eventually have a lot to consider, like the text messages between Michaela and the victim.
What was the nature of the messages back and forth?
The nature of it was Mr. Dale asking Ms. Rylar's dam to do certain things for him. He was asking her to buy boots and glue them on his feet with Gorilla Glue. He was asking her to buy dildos and glue them in his mouth. And he also asked her to pour pools of Gorilla Glue into his eyes to glue them shut, so that she was the last girl that he would ever see.
And based on these text messages, were you able to tell whether Mr. Dale was offering money in exchange for these acts?
Yes, I believe he was going to offer some money. I don't remember how much at this time.
We see on the top left-hand corner, Michael Dale, and then next to that, it says the Queen. Based on your investigation, who is the Queen?
Michaela Rylersdam.
Okay. And then to the right of the Queen, we see a timestamp. Is that fair?
Correct.
And then to the right of that, does it tell us whether it's an incoming or outgoing text?
Yes.
All right. So this first text, is this an incoming text?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and read the body of the text for us?
The body says, so what color boots are you going to get? Black, red, pink for me. How about the bright pink?
And is this a text from Michael Dale to the defendant, Ms. Rylarsdam?
Yes.
All right. There's mention of boots. How do the boots fit in to this? Good to go back here?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, if you need to point things out, great. Otherwise, I don't think you need to be up here.
Thank you.
Boots is glued to his feet, right?
So there's a mention of boots in this very first text. Can you tell us, based on your investigation of the case, what's the significance, if any, of the boots?
So Mr. Dale was asking Ms. Rylersdam to buy a pair of boots and glue them onto his feet.
Glued to his
And
feet.
when Mr. Dale was found, he did have a pair of boots glued onto his feet. They had to be removed in the emergency room.
Were those the same boots that Officer Edwards was describing?
Those are the same boots that he saw on him. And I believe there was a second pair that were in the room on the floor.
So one pair glued onto Mr. Dale's feet, second pair of unused boots on the floor. Is that fair?
I believe so.
Okay. So the very next text message in the middle, what are we looking at here?
It's a photo of some dildos.
And again, is this an outgoing text from Michael Dale to the defendant, Ms. Rylarsdam?
This is an incoming text from Michael Dale. This is from Ms. Rylersdam's phone. So it's an incoming text from Michael Dale to Ms. Rylersdam.
Thank you. And you said it's a picture of dildos?
Yeah, it's a advertisement on Etsy for to buy dildos for $36.
Can you read the next text message for us at the very bottom of page 1?
It's also incoming from Mr. Dale, and it says, I was thinking of something like this, say 6 inches long, that you could put down my throat before you glue my mouth shut.
What?
Before we flip to page 2, can you tell us what is the timestamp?
It's crazy.
These text messages?
The picture came in at 7:05 p.m. on 3/26/23, and the text message came in at 7:06 p.m. So one right after the other.
This is crazy.
So, fair to say a couple weeks before the incident?
Correct.
All right. Let's flip to page 2 on People's 3. For the record, timestamp of these first couple messages are March 27th of 2023. Is that accurate, sir?
Yes.
All right. Walk us through the first 3 texts that we see on the second page. Can you go ahead and read those and describe who's sending them and who's receiving them?
Sure. These all 3 are incoming from Michael Dale to Michaela Rylersdam. The first is on 3/27/23. It's at 9:32 a.m. The body of the text reads, yes, I have been seriously thinking about you gluing my eyes shut at the end.
Okay, how about the next text?
The next text is the same day at 11:57 a.m., which says, "Can we glue my eyes shut, please? So sexy, you being the last beautiful angel I ever see."
And how about the next text?
The next text is at 12 p.m., so 3 minutes later, and it states, "So can we please glue my eyes shut at the end, seriously?"
And that's also from Mr. Dale to the defendant?
Correct.
All right, so we see 5 total texts on this page. We've gone through 3 of them. Can you go ahead and read for us the next or 4th text message?
The next text message is an outgoing message from Michaela to Michael Dale at 12:01 p.m., which says yes.
All right, and how about the 5th and final text?
That's from Michael Dale to Michaela Reilersdam at 12:03 p.m., which says, "I seriously want a pool of glue over each eye, okay?"
If you could turn to the 3rd page from this exhibit, these 3. 4 text messages on this 3rd page. For the record, the first text, is this incoming from Michael Dale to the defendant?
Yes.
And what's the timestamp on this one?
12:05 p.m. on 3/27, the same day.
And go ahead and read that for us.
"I want to make sure that I can never, in capitals, I can never ever see another girl, okay?"
How about the second text message?
The second one is from Michaela Reilersdam to Michael Dale, outgoing at 12:09 p.m., and it says never.
And the third?
The third is from Michael Dale to Michaela Reilersdam. It's at 12:11 p.m., and the text reads, "So does that mean you will truly and honestly put a pool of Gorilla Glue in each eye to make it truly permanent for me, my sexy angel?"
And the
Wow.
4th text, was this the defendant's
Wow.
response to that?
Yes, it's an outgoing text message from Michaela Reilersdam to Michael Dale at 12:13 p.m. It says, "I will do whatever we put into writing to be signed, Dollface."
So those messages were reportedly sent weeks before Michael's death. Then the night came for them to act out these fantasies. The defense has argued Michaela tried to save Michael's life, but investigators presented video evidence that could upend the defense's argument.
Well, there were several videos. The videos appeared to have been taken by Michaela in selfie mode. There were videos of her dancing to some music, topless. In the background for the first couple, you could see Michael Dale. He was, at that point, his hands or his wrists had been bound, and he had black duct tape over his hands, completely covering his hands. He was wrapped in saran wrap. His thighs, from his thighs down, were wrapped in saran wrap. I remember it looked like a piece of saran wrap or plastic that was hanging around his shoulders loosely, almost like a sash. And he had black duct tape around his mouth, wrapped around his head.
Wow.
In these videos, do we see anything actually covering his head or his face?
Well, the first 2 videos, he's got just the duct tape around it. And the subsequent videos I saw, he had several layers over his head. So,
and when you say layers, watching the videos, could you tell what layers or what objects those were?
it appeared that he still had the black duct tape around his mouth, a plastic bag over his head.
Wow.
And then what I believe was that a loose saran wrap was wrapped around his face as well as tied around his neck. And then there was some pink duct tape that was wrapped around his mouth all the way around his head.
The prosecution played the series of videos for the court. However, we don't see them. But the detective described in great detail what he observed, as some of these videos were allegedly taken while the victim was already taking his final breaths.
Yes, so she put her foot up on top of him while he was laying on the floor and then sat on him. watching the video.
Yeah, she unalived him, y'all.
Timestamp of 9:56 p.m.
Yeah, she unalived him.
To clarify,
Yeah,
up to this point, have we seen
because she
any
could have cut
sort
him
of,
off.
plastic bag or other covering over Mr. Dale's head?
Sorry, lady.
No.
You got videotape of you doing it.
I want you to breathe with the sky over your head. What do you think?
Can you describe for us what we see in clip B?
So in this video, Mr. Dale is laying on the floor. His hands are still bound and covered in black duct tape. Although this time he's got a plastic bag over his head. What looks like that loose plastic wrapped around it, as well as around his neck. He has pink duct tape wrapped around his face, wrapped around his head completely, holding it all in place. This is a video that is being filmed by Michaela, pointing downwards at Mr. Dale as he speaks to him. At one point, she says, maybe I should tighten your neck up, and it looks like she reaches down and kind of hooks her finger underneath the plastic around his neck and kind of tugs on it. So in this clip, Michaela is filming herself, sitting on the floor, topless.
You see where you got us, SSS? You got us down a deep rabbit hole.
Hands back and forth between herself and Mr. Dale, who's laying on the floor at her feet, still bound in the same way. Everything's all the same, with the wrappings around his face, his hands, and his legs. He lays there motionless for most of the video, and then makes one movement, and kind of his body just shifts. And looks like it kind of takes in a breath and lets out a breath.
Is he laying on his back, on his side, on his front?
It looked like on his side.
Can you describe for us what we see here?
They denied her bail.
Sitting there topless, masturbating with a vibrator, lip syncing to the music. It pans down to Mr. Dale laying at her feet, motionless, still wrapped up the same exact way. Looked like she might have been resting her foot on him.
You mentioned in the previous clip how there was one moment where Mr. Dale's body kind of moves or shifts. Any movement with Mr. Dale in this clip?
No.
According to the detective, Michael was laying on the ground with saran wrap covering his face and head for at least 8 minutes. Even at one point, Michaela and her husband were allegedly texting one another as he expressed excitement over the photos Michaela sent him. All of this reportedly happening before 911 was called. Now, Michael also has roommates. His roommate testified he'd only been living in the home less than a week before his death.
Can you describe for us how it was that you became aware of the incident?
I came in to get dessert and I heard some commotion. I put my dessert back and then was proceeding back to my room to call my sister because I was like, what's going on? I got a text from one of the roommates saying all this noise. And
Here's
Overruled, effect on listener. Next question.
So you mentioned the commotion. Could you tell from where the commotion was coming from?
yeah, I could tell it was coming from Michael's room because there was only 3 of us home at the time. Helen, Michael, and me. All the other roommates.
Can I ask you a question? He has roommates, right? He couldn't afford his rent, but he can afford $11,000 to give to an Onlyfans person. No, she hasn't gotten a trial yet. What? Y'all get what I'm saying? He can't afford rent, but he could afford $11,000 to an Onlyfans. That picture doesn't seem right, does it? He got roommate. He got 2 other people living with him as a roommate. Usually when you have roommates because you're trying to share some of the expenses because it's so expensive to be living in that particular place or something, right? But you got $11,000 to give to this woman to do this craziness. This doesn't seem to I just had to think about that. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You got 3 roommates. He just mentioned there's 3 of them sharing the place.
It's were either at work or gone.
You also mentioned you texted your sister. How does your sister fit into this house?
My sister owns the house. She's basically the landlord.
Oh.
And you texted your sister.
I called my sister, sorry.
Apologies.
Yeah,
Called your
sorry.
sister. What was sort of the purpose of the phone call to your sister?
I was calling my sister because Michael had brought home a female and stuff was going on that we don't really allow kind of in the house. We don't have overnight guests.
You're a tattletale.
We try to be respectful, but it sounded like, you know, stuff was going on that shouldn't be going on in that. I mean, to each his own, but like, you know, you got roommates.
Could you be more specific? What was going on? What wasn't allowed in the house?
Well, the overnights, but he brought home, I don't know how you want me to say.
Just use your own words.
Prostitute, hooker, or whatever. And you gotta go get a hotel for that. You know, you move in 5 days and this is what's going on. I had gotten a text from the other roommate, which she said was all the noise was going on and she was scared. I remember next was Helen coming out to the garage saying that
Objection, you're saying.
Overruled. Effect on listener. You can continue.
Coming out saying that the girl needed help. So I came into the house and walked towards Michael Dale's room with Helen and the girl. And that's when I saw Mr. Dale and I said, you know, you guys we need to call 911. So one of the girls, I'm not too sure who dialed 911. We got the 911 operator on the phone and we said that, you know, he wasn't breathing. So he was like, you guys start CPR. The girls looked at me to do it, but in my physical, I wouldn't have been able to do it. We would have had 2 ambulances coming. So the girl started CPR. When I saw the situation, you know, the CPR was started, I went to the front door and opened it up for the ambulance or police officers that were going to be coming.
Okay. You're mentioning the girl. Are you talking about Helen or the female guest?
Oh, female guest, sorry.
That same female guest that you're describing, do you also see here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
For the record, can you please describe where she's seated and what color shirt she's wearing?
I think it was red or pink, and it was a.
I'm sorry. Today, where is she today?
Oh, sorry. She's sitting over there. She has a gray sweatshirt on.
The witnesses identified the defendant.
Thank you.
And one of the biggest bombshells of the hearing was that Michael's roommate could allegedly hear him begging for the so-called experience to stop.
I could just hear him say, can we stop? I'll pay you a certain amount more money to stop. And that's when I realized that it wasn't a friend. It was a prostitute or whatever you want.
You're saying stop.
Say.
So you hear Mr. Dale say this comment. Are you in the kitchen at that point?
Basically in the kitchen.
And so after that, is that when you go back to the garage?
That's when I went back to the garage and called my sister and was trying to decide what we should do, call the police or, because like I said, Helen had texted me at that kind of same time-ish and was hearing noises and was frightened.
Where is Helen in the house when this is going on?
She was in her room, I do believe. Like I said, I wasn't in the house, so I'm not too sure, but I'm sure she was probably in her room because that would be her safest place.
Wow.
So you were telling us before about how you leave the garage and you walk toward Mr. Dale's room. Is
Yes.
that right? Did you actually go in and see what was going on in the room?
Yes, I went into Michael Dale's room and he was laying on the floor, not breathing. And that's when I was like, we need to call 911. And like I said, I can't remember which girl, Helen or what's her name? Michaela. I'm sorry. Michaela, I don't know which one called 911, but once we got them on and they were, given directions for CPR, Michaela started CPR.
You mentioned Mr. Dale was on the ground. Can you tell us, is he laying on his back, on his side?
He was on his back.
And that was just a snippet of the evidence prosecutors brought out in court. I'm joined now by attorney Melba Pearson. And Melba, I remember when we first chatted about this case, when the story first broke, and it seemed like, at least to me, it felt like it was an accident. Now, as we're learning more, it seems like the jury has a lot to consider. But what's your take on the new bombshells that we heard in court, like the roommate's testimony about hearing the victim say he'll pay more money if she stops?
Yeah, so Elizabeth, always great to be on with you. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because, again, the victim signed up for what he thought was going to be fun. But again, reminder that fantasy and reality can be two very different things. And so he obviously was begging for her to stop. But again, in the context of this being a BDSM type of encounter, it's possible that she thought that that was sort of part of the game versus he seriously and truly wanted to opt out, which, again, not that I'm an expert in this arena and I'm not going to kink shame anybody, but the reality is normally that's why you have a safe word in that type of situation, so that there's a distinction between, okay, this is a game, and wait, no, it's time to stop. I'm being hurt in a way that is not consistent with what I signed up for.
And in terms of the law and the eyes of the law, how important is intent here? Because it seemed like from the defense's perspective, there was no intent to harm this man, the victim that he ended up being. But in terms of just intent versus what had actually ended up happening, how important is it in the eyes of the law where the jury may see, okay, well, maybe she didn't intend to do this, but then as a result, her alleged client ended up dead?
Wow.
So there's a couple things to unpack here. So first degree murder, which is usually the premeditation aspect, that's not on the table because it's not like she planned to harm him. Now, second degree murder, definitely on the table because of the fact that she engaged in something that would be deemed as wanton and reckless disregard for human life, that you're doing something that's so out of pocket, so out of the norm, and so likely to cause harm, and yet you proceeded to do so anyway. Now, again, the nuance, because of this fact that this is a BDSM type situation, yes, most things in that arena are going to be disregard for human life, right? Because, we're looking at asphyxiation and all that type of stuff that's done consensually. So what I think truly applies here is manslaughter, because, again, they engaged in something that was, there was consent involved, and they agreed to go to a certain point. She just went a bit too far. So I think manslaughter is probably the most appropriate charge here, if any.
I agree.
And are you surprised, given that this had happened about 2 years ago, it happened in 2023, that she was only charged now in 2025? Why do you think that there was such a discrepancy in the amount of time that's passed? But also, why did the charges come about now as opposed to when the incident first occurred?
My only guess would be that it was as part of the investigation. So law enforcement was going through phone records, talking to witnesses, talking to her boyfriend, who apparently got some footage of what was happening in real time. So, her husband, yes, who had gotten footage in real time and actually responded to it. So there were a number of people that they needed to speak to figure out whether or not this was truly a consensual sexual encounter that went wrong, or if there was something more nefarious at play here.
Yeah, because just hearing about all these text messages and even the video evidence that prosecutors have, it seemed like, especially with the victim making this very specific request for Michaela to kind of allegedly glue him with Gorilla Glue into his boots, even put it into his eyes, so that way she would be the last person he saw, and even the whole saran wrap aspect to it. I feel like there's just so many different layers to this case. But even with all these different layers, are you surprised that the judge said no bond for this defendant, given that, it's still kind of up in the air in terms of which murder count it'll be, whether it'll be manslaughter or first degree or second degree murder? But are you surprised she's being held without bond, especially because even though she is a spicy content creator, she is still a mom of 3. She still has a husband at home. But are you surprised the judge said no for bond?
I am surprised because judges usually have to consider whether or not someone is a flight risk, whether or not they're a danger to the community, and whether or not they're going to reoffend during the time that they're out on bond pending trial. And I don't see any of those indicators there. She does not have a prior criminal history to the best of our knowledge. She is settled in terms of she has a husband and a family. So, she's pretty stable in terms of where she is. She's pretty easy to find because she's on social. So it's not like she can disappear somewhere and no one's going to know where she is or be able to find her. And she seemed to have roots in the community. So to me, that's a little surprising. And again, looking at the facts, it's not that she planned it. It's not that, she did something horrible and violent from the standpoint of this was not consensual. She just went up to this guy and decided to put Gorilla Glue in his eyes or something along those lines, right? So not saying that this isn't terrible. Let's be very clear about that. But in terms of the consent aspect, that changes the dynamics of what we're dealing with. So that's why I'm a bit surprised that the judge is holding her no bond. I would have thought that they would have set a bond. Maybe it would have been a bit high, but I still thought that a bond would have been appropriate, again, because I don't think she's a flight risk, and she cooperated with law enforcement right out the gate. She remained available to them to answer questions. And so, she wasn't giving the hallmarks of somebody who would flee, like AKA the Adelsons.
The shameless plug right there, all that. I love it. And I was going to ask you, Melba, in terms of her staying on the scene, to your point, and giving the victim CPR, because, even though.
All right. All right. If you guys want to listen to the rest of it, it's on Law and Crime. You just type up her name. Michaela. What's her last name? How to say her last name? Just Michaela. All right, y'all. I gotta go. It's 1:09 p.m. Thanks. That was a good refresher. How to see when she goes to trial. No, have to see. Sorry. My glasses is not working too well. Have to see when it goes to trial. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get my butt on out of here, guys. Miss Success put us in this rabbit hole, and I got a little interested into this. So, but I gotta go. All right. See you later. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars.